So Dick, Grand Rock, Guernsey, Rue de la Ronde-Cheminée. I think this was your first development in Guernsey.
It was indeed, first one, backing onto the old Rangers football pitch. I came to Guernsey to powerboat race in the late 60s. It was an old greenhouse site.
Gosh.
And I didn't do anything for about 5 years with it. And then decided to move to Guernsey.
So when were these built, Dick? Late 60s?
These were built late 70s.
Late 70s,
Yeah, late
okay.
70s they were built. What we actually did is we bought this particular element of the site here, which was for 8 houses, and then we extended it to a further 4 around here to make 12, and then later on, you know, we moved on to another site. But so it was bought as 8, extended to 12. The type of design the IDC wanted in those days, as you'll probably remember, were the Breton-styled bit of granite,
always
windows,
granite, yeah.
With the sort of smaller bungalows on this side, and that was how we started. And
you haven't looked back?
Well, I don't know. I've looked back once or twice. I've looked back once or twice.
So Dick, we've moved on, what, 5 years, early 80s now, we're at Sable d'Or. Now this is a different development, this is a bit bigger.
Yeah, this sort of moved us slightly on, because again in the 80s the IDC had released some land to slightly bigger sites. So this particular site that we're sort of right in the middle of comprised of approaching 60 houses.
Gosh, that would have been big for Guernsey.
Yeah, it was big for us, to be fair, and it was built on a sandy site.
Again.
The actual concept was drawn up by the IDC, so they'd started moving into sort of giving some ideas of what they wanted.
Okay.
So whereas when we first started we're into chalet bungalows, Breton style, here they wanted houses, 2 and 3 bedrooms, but with sort of joined garages, bit of parking, so there's about, I suppose, 6 or 7 little close off of the main road. And it caught on very well.
And in between times you were doing individual bespoke projects for people?
In between times we were doing bespoke, we were doing our contracting, we were doing single ones or doubles, mostly singles, to be honest with you. And again, doing quite a bit with powerboats. That's always been my downfall, my weakness. I'm sorry about that.
It's been powerboats. Let's go up and have a look at King's Road.
Love to, yeah, that'd be really good.
So we're in town, we're in St Peter Port, and we've got a completely different style of development.
From starting with 8 to going to the 60s to doing individual small ones, whereas in the 70s and 80s it was more quantity that the IDC wanted. I feel that what they're wanting predominantly is knockdowns and rebuilds or refurbishments or extensions. Here we bought an old house, an old open market house with an old coach house. We have 8 houses here, some barn style, the granite, plus these very Queen's Road, King's Roadish type properties.
Very sort of proper town
house. And they're sort of 3-storey, they're £1 million type houses, very bespoke, 4 or 5 bedroom, and very, very nice. We've moved away from cramming houses on. We're not, at the moment, we're not that sort of developer.
And I don't think that's what the market's looking for.
Well, I don't know. I think you guys, you're the estate agents, you keep telling me what to build and then I keep getting them in my portfolio. But maybe one day you'll sell some of them. That would help.
You've got a nice collection of houses.
We've certainly got a nice collection.
Well, let's go and have a look at something you built, brand new, bespoke,
yep.
for a specific client. So, Dick, this is Wheeler Developments right up to date, I think. This is a year old?
Yep, just over the year. This was a very old bungalow, which we got permission to demolish.
Completely, so this is an absolutely brand new house.
It's a new build, and this is where the IDC like. In other words, either put extensions on or demolish if it's substandard towards modern day insulation and sound properties. Here, Mrs. Davis wanted, or we'd done the design, but obviously their family requirements were somewhat different. Okay. So in this one, they've got a huge lounge linked into a diner, linked into a day room, linked into the kitchen, because she likes all the children around. Fantastic. And then this particular part behind you was originally going to be the garage, and what they decided was they didn't want the garage, so we basically, where those 2 windows are, they were the 2 garage doors, so that became the playroom. which led on to the utility room. So, the car parking was arranged for their cars, and the garden was arranged for the dog.
Okay.
So you get right down, and the guinea pigs were just up there
Yeah,
under the
saw
tree,
those.
and that's why we had to keep that particular tree, because she always wanted the guinea pigs under the tree.
Fantastic.
So that's what you do, and that's why the wall bends around like that.
And I guess you get to know people really well.
It's their home.
Yeah.
It's not just a building.
Yeah.
We're not building a building.
No,
As
you're
such,
creating
you're building
a
somebody's home.
Yeah.
And if you go that way, I don't think you go wrong.
Dick, Jenny, Wheeler Developments, been in Guernsey for nearly 40 years. What does the future hold for Wheeler?
Methods have changed.
Yeah.
When I came in, it was mud huts, but now they want to use sand and cement. So James runs the chaps and is bringing more of the modern materials into it. Rob's running inside the office and got all these harebrained schemes of technology and computers, whereas I still use a bit of paper. So really, our future is resting with our sons.
And Robert, technology, I mean, that's obviously now quite a part of the business.
It has changed rapidly, and I think it will change again over the next 10 to 12 years. It will change again where we all use more iPads, iPhones, and more technology to make things easier for ourselves, but we still use pens and pencils when we're in any trouble.
Whilst the old man's about, we don't need too much technology. Rest assured.
And actually, house buying is an incredibly personal process, isn't it?
When you're building somebody's home for them, that is very personal, and you do get very close to the people you're working for, and that's why we like to give them the choice and to make it a very personal and a lovely home for them.
As I've said, it's all teamwork, and to complete the teamwork we have to use a very good estate agent, which unfortunately we don't seem to be able to find these days. That's the way it goes.
On that note, Mr. Ridout, I was going to end by saying the best of luck to Wheelers for the next 40 years.